At 3:40 in the morning, I opened a locked gym room I was never supposed to enter. Inside, people were screaming behind oxygen masks, strapped to machines, being cooked alive in the name of fitness. And my boss was watching it like a science experiment. If you've ever trusted a company, a boss, or a system that turned out to be rotten to the core, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and buckle up, because this is one of the most disturbing and satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear.
January is the month of lies. If you've worked in the fitness industry as long as I have, you eventually learn to hate the calendar. January 2nd marks the beginning of the migration of repentant souls. They arrive in schools, wearing lycra clothes that still smell like the store, carrying colorful water bottles, fueled by the fragile determination of someone who spent 3 weeks stuffing their face with holiday roast and sides and now wants a pop star's body before carnival. We call this Project Summer. I call it Project Desperation. My name is Danilo. I'm a personal trainer and floor instructor at Iron Fit 24 Hours, one of those low-cost gym chains that have spread through Sao Paulo like a fungal plague. Black walls, neon yellow lights, electronic music played too loud, and membership fees that are way too cheap. I work the shift nobody wants, midnight to 6 in the morning. It's a lonely shift. The crowd at that hour is usually made up of insomniacs, ER doctors, cops, and a few antisocial meatheads who hate sharing equipment. The sound of weight plates clanking echoes in the empty warehouse like gunshots. The smell is a mix of rubber, citrus disinfectant, and cold sweat. But this specific January, something was different. It started with Mariana. Mariana had been a regular student on my shift for about 6 months. A nurse, 30-something, slightly overweight. She was always nice, the type who brings coffee for the instructor and chats about TV shows between sets on the leg press. Her goal was to lose 5 kilos, about 11 pounds. A healthy, realistic goal. When I came back from my New Year's break on January 3rd, Mariana was there. It was 3:15 a.m. I was at the front desk fighting off sleep when she walked in. I almost didn't recognize her. In less than 2 weeks, Mariana looked like she had lost 10 or 15 kilos, 20 to 30 pounds. Her workout clothes, once tight, now hung off her body like empty sacks. Her face was gaunt, her cheekbones protruding like blades beneath pale skin. There were deep purple circles around eyes that looked glazed over, focused on nothing. "Mariana?" I called out, stepping out from behind the counter. "Wow, long time no see. You look different." She didn't smile. The old Mariana would have made a joke about cutting carbs, but this Mariana just turned her head slowly in my direction, like a robot with rusted gears. "Need to train," she whispered. Her voice was hoarse, dry. "Sure, but are you okay? You're pale." "Spinning room," she said, ignoring my question. "Kleber said the spinning room is closed for maintenance." Kleber was the unit manager, a guy who looked like he was assembled from Lego pieces made of meat and steroids. Teeth too white, a fake orange tan, and an aggressive corporate energy that made me nauseous. He was never at the gym at dawn. His shift was strictly 9 to 5. "Is Kleber here?" I asked, confused. Mariana didn't answer. She marched toward the back of the gym, where the bike room was located. It was a closed room with soundproofing and glass windows, which, I noticed now, had been covered with brown butcher paper from the inside. "Maintenance," read a crooked sign on the door. Mariana typed a code into the keypad on the door. The light turned green. She went in. A blast of hot air escaped the room before the door closed. Hot and humid, and with a strange smell. It didn't smell like sweat. I went back to the counter,
uneasy. Over the next few nights, the pattern repeated, and it got worse. It wasn't just Mariana. I started noticing a group. There were about 10 of them, men and women, varying ages, but they all shared the same cadaverous aesthetic. Gray skin, sudden and excessive thinness, trembling hands, and that dead fish stare. They always arrived between 3 and 3:30 a.m. They didn't speak to me. They didn't use their fingerprint at the turnstile, which was against the rules, but the system seemed to release them automatically. They went straight to the spinning room, typed in the password, and disappeared inside for exactly 1 hour. None of them touched the weights. None of them drank water. They walked in and they crawled out, leaning on the walls, soaked in a sweat that looked oily. I tried to talk to Kleber at the shift change at 6 a.m. "Kleber, what's going on in the bike room?" I asked, grabbing my backpack. The night crew was using it, but the sign says maintenance. And Mariana, man, she's sick. She lost weight way too fast. Kleber was drinking his whey protein, scrolling on his phone. He didn't even look up. "It's a high-performance group, Danilo. New franchise protocol. Metabolic HIIT. Elite stuff. Don't worry about it. They pay for a black diamond plan." "But they look like crack addicts, Kleber. Seriously. Their skin is melting off. And what is that smell?" Kleber finally looked at me. The white smile vanished. His eyes went cold. "Are you a doctor, Danilo?" "No, I'm a physical trainer." "Then train physiques and leave the management to me. If they get sick, they signed a liability waiver. Your job is to watch the weight room and make sure no one steals the dumbbells. The bike room is rented for a private project. Don't meddle, stay in your lane." He patted my shoulder, a pat that was a little too hard. "The job market is tough, Danilo. Don't lose your job over curiosity." I went home, but I couldn't sleep. The image of Mariana haunted me. I knew what drugs did. I've seen people abuse diuretics, T3, clenbuterol, but this was different. They weren't just drying out fat. They looked like they were being consumed from the inside out. Last night, I decided I wasn't going to ignore it anymore. It was 3:40 a.m. The zombie group, as I'd mentally nicknamed them, had been inside the spinning room for 20 minutes. The gym was empty, except for them and me. I went to the door. I pressed my ear against the glass covered by the brown paper. The soundproofing was good, but not perfect. I could hear the hum of the bikes spinning, but I didn't hear music. Spinning classes have loud music, shouting, motivation. In there, the only human sound was moaning, muffled screams of pain, crying, and someone vomiting. I tried the handle. Locked. I looked at the keypad. 4 digits. I remembered the gym's anniversary. Nothing. I tried today's date. Nothing. Then I remembered Kleber's ego. He had a tattoo on his arm, 1985, the year he was born. I typed 1985. The light turned green. I took a deep breath, pulled my shirt up to cover my nose, and opened the door. The heat hit me like a physical punch. The temperature inside must have been bordering on 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit. The air was thick, unbreathable, saturated with humidity and that chemical smell of rotten vinegar mixed with boiled meat. The room was dim, lit only by red emergency lights along the baseboards. There were 12 bikes, all occupied, but they weren't just pedaling. Mariana was on the front bike, strapped to the machine. There were Velcro straps binding her wrists to the handlebars and her feet to the pedals. She was pedaling at a frantic, inhuman pace. Her legs were spinning so fast they were a blur. But she wasn't doing it voluntarily. Her bike and the others were connected to an external motor. The motor was forcing the pedals to turn. If she stopped applying force, her legs would be snapped by the mechanical movement. She had to keep up with the machine's rhythm to avoid having her bones ground to dust. But the worst part wasn't the forced movement. The worst part was the masks. Every student was wearing a transparent oxygen mask connected by tubes that went up to the ceiling, feeding into the AC vents. Inside the masks, a yellowish gas was being pumped in. Mariana looked at me when I entered. Her eyes were red with burst blood vessels. Her skin glistened with sweat, but also with blisters. Small burn blisters covered her arms.
She tried to scream, but the mask muffled the sound. She was cooking. Literally. "My God!" I shouted, running to her bike. I tried to undo the Velcro. They were locked with industrial zip ties. I looked at the bike's panel. There was no stop button. The wiring went straight into the wall. The other students didn't even look at me. Some seemed passed out, heads hanging low, but their legs kept spinning, driven by the motor, tearing muscles and ligaments in unconscious bodies. "What the fuck are you doing here?" The voice came from the back of the room, from the shadows. Kleber was there. He was wearing a white hazmat suit and a professional gas mask. He was holding a tablet. "Turn this off!" I screamed, coughing from the heat and the chemical smell. "You're killing them! Mariana is burning up with fever!" Kleber walked calmly toward me. He looked huge in that suit. "They're not dying, Danilo. They're metabolizing. Do you know what DNP is? 2,4-dinitrophenol?" He pointed to the tubes in the ceiling. "It's an industrial compound used to make explosives in World War I. The workers who handled it lost weight until they vanished. It uncouples oxidative phosphorylation. Basically, it makes the cells stop storing energy and turn everything into heat. Fat turns into fire. This is poison!" I tried to lunge at him, but the heat was making me dizzy. My legs felt like lead. "It's efficiency," Kleber shouted, his voice muffled by the mask. "They signed the contract, Danilo. They wanted to lose 10 kilos in a week. They begged for this. I'm just giving them what they asked for. The gas raises their basal body temperature to 40 degrees. They burn 5,000 calories an hour sitting there. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it cooks the internal organs a little bit. But look at her." He pointed to a woman in the second row. She was skeletal. She walked in here wearing a size 14 on Monday. Today is Friday, and she's a size 4. Her Project Summer is done. Who cares if she needs dialysis for the rest of her life? She'll look skinny in a bikini. "You're sick!" I tried to punch him. It was a mistake. I had been breathing that toxic air for 2 minutes. My strength was gone. My punch was slow, pathetic. Kleber just grabbed my arm and shoved me. I fell onto the rubber floor. The floor was hot. It burned my hand. I saw Mariana looking at me. A tear of blood ran down under her mask. She mouthed something. I read her lips. "Kill me." I stood up, stumbling, and ran for the door. I needed to call the police. I needed to get out of that oven. I grabbed the handle. Locked. "The session isn't over, Danilo," Kleber said, typing something on the tablet. "The locks are automatic. They only open when the thermal cycle ends. 30 minutes left." I heard a mechanical click come from the ceiling. The hissing of the gas got louder. "And since you're here and you've seen the franchise's trade secret, I think you need a workout too. You've been looking a little bloated, Danilo. Too much beer over the holidays?" I felt my throat close up. The air was turning yellow. Kleber walked toward me. He wasn't going to put me on a bike. He didn't need to. Just being in that room was enough. DNP in gaseous form is absorbed through the skin and mucous membranes, Kleber explained, as if giving a biomechanics lecture. Without the mask, you'll absorb a lethal dose in, let's say, 10 minutes. Your temperature will rise to 42 degrees. Your proteins will denature. Your brain will cook inside your skull. It's a quick death, but hot. I ran to the windows covered with brown paper. I pounded on the glass. Double-tempered glass, unbreakable without a hammer. I screamed for help, but who would hear? The gym was empty. The soundproofing was perfect. Kleber sat on a stool in the corner,
crossed his legs, and kept monitoring the data on the tablet. "Save your oxygen, Danilo. The more you move, the hotter you get." I felt sweat break out on my forehead. It wasn't normal sweat. It was a flood. My shirt was soaked in seconds. My heart started beating out of rhythm. I felt a burning in my stomach as if I had swallowed hot coals. My vision began to blur, yellowing at the edges. I looked at Mariana. She had passed out, but her legs kept spinning, 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 driven by the relentless motor. I heard a dry snap. Crack! Her knee had broken. The bone tore through the skin, white and shiny. But the machine kept forcing her leg to turn, grinding the joint with every rotation. Kleber didn't even look. I fell to my knees. The floor was boiling. I tried to crawl to the door. My skin was red, throbbing. I could feel my blood bubbling in my veins. It felt like being inside a giant microwave. 20 minutes left. Kleber's voice sounded distant, metallic. "Hang in there. Think of the results. Think about how shredded you'll look in the coffin." My eyes are swelling. I think my tears are evaporating before they fall. I'm writing this on my phone's notes app with fingers slippery from sweat and the grease leaking from my pores. The battery's dying. The phone is overheating too. If anyone finds this phone, if anyone finds what's left of us, don't believe the official report. They'll say it was a fire. They'll say it was a short circuit in the sauna. It wasn't. It was Project Summer. Kleber is standing up now. He's coming toward me with a syringe. "To speed up the process," he says. "I'm so hot, I just wanted the air conditioning to work." Mariana stopped moving. The machine keeps spinning her legs, but her head has fallen back. Her mask is full of black vomit. Kleber is smiling. It's January. It's the month of Project Summer. It's the month of lies.